everyone, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Right in the forecast, as we got 2 games coming up in Group F action. This will be the second game for all teams involved in Trinidad today. Let's take a look at those Group F standings. So everybody played 2 days ago, got a break yesterday, and back in action. This is a round-robin qualifier, and the goal is to win the group. And right now, Costa Rica sitting at top of the group with Guatemala. Both those teams walked away with 3 points in game number 1. Costa Rica taking down Aruba 4-0. Meanwhile, for the Cayman Islands, looking to bounce back after a 3-0 loss to Guatemala in game 1. This is actually going to be the first time that these 2 countries have met in U20 qualifier play. And the way it works here in Concacaf U20 qualifiers is everybody's divided into 6 groups, and as I said before, must win the group to move on to the championship, where the United States and Mexico have earned a bye to that championship tournament. Now, Costa Rica has had a lot of success as a country at this level. They have traditionally dominated qualifiers 7 times, have made the final round. So if you're just going on history, would appear to be the heavy favorites in this group. But Cayman Islands on the other side have also made the final round 3 times. Gearing up for this game. Bit of a dreary day in Trinidad. That's a busy week across Concacaf at the U20 level. And of course, the ultimate goal is to be one of 4 countries that represent Concacaf at the 2026 FIFA U20 World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Concacaf Women's Under-20.
Well, we will pause now for processions. Both countries, Cayman Islands and Costa Rica, we will hear their national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Cayman Islands, followed by the national anthem of Costa Rica.
Well, there you have it. National anthems for both countries, Cayman Islands and Costa Rica, about to kick off from Trinidad. We'll get you set on the starting 11s for both countries, introduce you to the captains and our officials today, and then kick off. Ato Boldon Stadium. The first meeting between these countries at the U20 level. Here's a starting 11 for the Cayman Islands. Wilson in net, coached by Michael Johnson Jr., looking for victory number 1. And the Cayman Islands only have 2 games left to try to make some noise in this group. It is a very difficult group with right now Costa Rica and Guatemala at the top, but a lot can change as Guatemala will play Aruba after this match. Well, the captains will meet. Coles for Cayman Islands, Jimenez for Costa Rica. Caritza Guerra is our center official today out of Honduras. Here's the starting 11 for Costa Rica. Cespedes in net. Aguilar, the head coach. Going with a 4-4-2 formation. The player to watch out for is Sheikah Scott. Cayman Islands obviously didn't And we are underway. Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, Concacaf U20 qualifiers. Game 2 for both of these countries. Ridley works it around from the back here for Cayman Islands. 3 appearances in the final round for Cayman Islands historically. Couldn't find the back of the net in game 1 against Guatemala. Off the interception, Ocampo drives forward, a shot from distance. Wilson off the rebound, and no one's there, so she collects. You take a look at head coach for Cayman Islands, Michael Johnson Jr. I had mentioned that Wilson will be tested today, and right away she is. Shot from distance for Costa Rica. Of course, at the senior national level, Costa Rica has been very successful on the women's side in Concacaf. And traditionally, at this level, U20 level, Aguilar has had an influx of talent come through. 7 times, Costa Rica has made it to the final round. They have about a 500 record in the final round. Made it to the World Cup at the U20 level, which is the ultimate goal of these qualifiers and for the teams making the championship after this. Made it 4 times, Costa Rica. Playing long over the top, streaking forward, it's Scott. In the box, Scott off her right foot, looks to fire, and just a bit of a heavy touch there. There's a shot, left-footed strike off the post. What a look from outside the box, and it's a very light clear. Second chance. Sneaks in. Costa Rica on the board. Relentless pressure on the attack, and Taylor finds the back of the net. Well, some really strong shots, and that one just placed well. And Wilson was inundated on that one, and the first look slammed off the post. And that one touched away for Scott, and what a shot from Solano. That nearly went in. That would have been an absolute banger. This one just missed by Wilson. Costa Rica scored in the 7th minute in game number 1. And off to a hot start again against Cayman Islands in game 2. So that's now 5 goals scored for Costa Rica without having allowed any so far. And traditionally in the qualifiers, they have a plus 104 goal difference, Costa Rica. So pretty good in that regard. Slotted forward but intercepted by the defense. Finn Bowden for Cayman Islands, quickly jolted back for Costa Rica. Jimenez, the captain. And Cayman Islands gonna sit back. Vasquez trying to find the seams. Quick swings. And played to that right flank. Served up in the box. Pushed out. Pass forward to Scott, looks to get around, touched away. Now she's wide with it. Looking for the cross to the spot. Taken back, shot from distance, slammed into the defense. Off the reset here for Costa Rica. Vasquez. Ruiz. Sanabria. Vasquez. Cespedes, the keeper today for Costa Rica. We're 5 minutes in, it's already 1-0. Taylor with the lone score so far. Here's Taylor. Whips it across. And is cleared out by Cayman Islands. There are 4 different venues for the qualifiers. And again, the United States and Mexico have earned buys, so not participating in the qualifiers. 2023, the last edition of this tournament. Mexico won, beating the United States in that championship game. And both would go on to represent Concacaf at the U20 World Cup. It's just such a unique experience, so many superstars. As Scott settles, shoots, tallies. 3 goals so far in qualifiers for Scott, and it's 2-0. Costa Rica up on Cayman Islands. Oh, she scored a lot earlier than she did in that game against Aruba. This is a lovely service and just a lot of space for Sheika Scott, who's a proven goal scorer at every youth level in CONCACAF play. She had way too much time, but what a quality touch and a quality finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, goal for Costa Rica, scored by
It's been fun to watch her journey with Costa Rica from just such a young age. Has made an impact, and I don't think we're far away from seeing her as a staple with the senior national team. Scott? Taylor, dispossessed, but pokes it back. On the wing, surveys. Looks to get around, and the defense collapses in.
When they bring back, get the ball, they're looking to go over the top. You need to help the two center back. Once they bring back, get the ball, look for the two center back.
Solano. Scott fires wide. Well, against Aruba, Scott's first goal was in the 89th minute, and then she would score a brace 4 minutes later, 3 minutes into stoppage time. Thomas and Vargas were the other two goal scorers in that game. And both Thomas and Vargas coming in potentially off the bench today for Costa Rica. Bateson. Jimenez, plenty of green. Castrillo uses her option behind. Again, a low block for Cayman Islands, already down 2-0. Not even 10 minutes into this match. Vasquez. Sanabria. Back and forth. Leading. Top of the box for Taylor. Lose a defender. Left-footed shot, and it's bobbled, but handled by Wilson. No trouble getting it out for Cayman Islands. It's been stuck in their defensive end for the majority of this match so far. Taylor and Scott are goal scorers in Trinidad. That one slips through, no one on the end of it for Costa Rica. But keeping up the pressure, and it pays off. Lands with Scott, surges forward, pass ahead, into the box. No space for a shot. This time from outside, sails out of play. That look from Ocampo, who definitely, in these first 11 minutes, has had the green light to go for it from wherever she is on the pitch. Costa Rica would move to the top of Group F with a win today. We're a long ways away from that. But it's been 3 teams at the U20 women's level, 3 countries that have dominated See, United States, Mexico, and Canada. Those are the only 3 countries to win, to be champions of this tournament. So a country like Costa Rica wants to change that narrative. But you can see the shift as soccer football I should say, begins to grow. The women's level, the women's youth levels. Certainly saw that when Mexico took down the United States in 2023. In a country like Costa Rica, countries like Cayman Islands, really just evolving as the years go on. Vasquez. And the level of play, the level of competition, every time they have these Concacaf Women's Under-20 qualifiers, just feels like goes up and up since I've been calling these games. Vasquez. Just a bit out of reach for Taylor. Well, the opportunities have cooled off in the last 5 minutes for Costa Rica, but obviously have dominated possession time. And there's been no positive sequences so far for Cayman Islands. Defending for the bulk of this game. Another cross, but it's intercepted. Given right back to Costa Rica as the sun peeks out here in Trinidad. Headed away, but not out of the woods. And that one's off the mark on a tough angled shot. Vasquez will throw it in. Ruiz. Sanabria. Vasquez. Well, you could see Bateson looking for an opportunity to pounce and perhaps come up with the ball for Cayman Islands. This is promising. Bateson looks ahead, evades a defense, and it's tapped forward, but right into Ruiz. Vasquez hits Bateson, fighting for it. Not too many players there for Costa Rica. Ruiz. Scott races to tack it away. Vasquez whips it across. Bateson. And Cespedes, the keeper, out. Controls for Costa Rica. Sanabria. Vasquez. Plays it over the top. And Taylor can't control. Scott. Bounces over her head. And Scott still makes the most of it. Surging, swerving. A little congested. I think that went off of Taylor, her shot. Some friendly fire there. There's too many players occupying the same space for Costa Rica. Clark. Sanabria. Slides it wide. Plenty of space for a service. And a heavy touch there. And cleared out for Cayman Islands. Looking to counter. And it feels like a lot of those passes are rushed, and credit to the pressure that we've seen from Costa Rica. The frustration's already building for Cayman Islands. Ruiz. Sanabria. Vasquez surveys again. And it's a corner. Hit off the defender there and Powell. And here comes a set piece opportunity for Costa Rica. First corner we've seen of the game for Costa Rica. Top of the 6, and it's headed wide. A couple players rising for that one. Not put on frame, as Ruiz was the #1 option. The defender coming up for Costa Rica. Clark takes his goal kick for Cayman Islands. As about a third of the pitch is shaded here in Trinidad. The early game in Group F. Oh, we're 20 minutes in. We saw 2 goals scored for Costa Rica in the first 7 minutes of this game. Taylor and then Scott. And that's where we sit. Does feel like Costa Rica knocking on the door of goal #3, the way this first 20 minutes has played out. Sanabria. Looking for Scott. It's deflected and now lifted. Broken up by Cayman Islands and right back to Ruiz. Vasquez. Ruiz. Plenty of time to think, and it's a lovely ball. Fielded off the hop. There's a shot. Wilson dives for it. Might have just touched that, but it ends up wide. And a good look for Solano. It was just so technically sound here. I mean, what a move. And she controls it nicely, and then some texture to that. And it looks like Wilson didn't touch it, but perhaps would have been able to save based on that dive. or excuse me, Ocampo fights through some contact. Ruiz. Sanabria. Sanabria. Up the flank. Served up. Looking for a header. It's actually off the body of Solano. Didn't time that perfectly. Aguilar talking to her team. And with Guatemala playing Aruba in the next game, it's important for whoever wins this match to build up goal difference. So you're not going to see anybody take their foot off the gas in this tournament, because that's one of the tiebreakers if things are tied at the end. And again, it's a round robin tournament over the course of a week. Must win the group. So the championship will consist of 6 teams that competed in qualifiers and the United States and Mexico. Ruiz. Vasquez. Picking up speed, losing a defender, and Bateson. And Bateson earns him back. That shot wide from outside the 18. That's going to take us to the cooling break in the first half. Cayman Islands in Costa Rica. Well, it was a dream start for Costa Rica. Taylor scoring on a couple of shots in a row for Costa Rica, and then she was the one to put it in the back of the net. That happened in the 2nd minute. 5 minutes later, Scott scores, and suddenly it's 2-0. So Costa Rica with some cushion already 25 minutes into this game. Here's a look at that first opportunity, and it's just not the clear that you would want from Clark. She essentially passes it right back to Taylor, and Taylor just finds the corner. There's another look off her left foot. Wilson can't bring it in either, the keeper for Cayman Islands. And then this played long for Scott. I mean, just what a finish. Handles it so nicely. And that strike is lovely as well. A really technically sound player, Scott. Well, you can see Michael Johnson Jr. talking to his side as they cool off and get some water. Aguilar as well. Cayman Islands has yet to score in this tournament. Not even through 2 games, though. So a lot can change, but absolutely need to possess better and take care of the ball when they get it back defensively. Ready to restart Cayman Islands and Costa Rica after that cooling break. And Wilson on the kick. Goes with the short option. Clark is there. And once again, that press pays off for Costa Rica. Taylor, Scott, Gonzalez, they've been active. And Taylor's going to get a bit of a warning from Guerra, our center official. Vasquez. Ruiz switching the point of attack. Sanabria. Oh, they've done well on this right side. This right flank found a lot of joy. That time searching for Scott. Lifted into the 18. Taylor trying to get some separation. And it's headed away by Clark. So a corner, the second of the game, coming for Costa Rica. The first hung up and wasn't the best header that I think Costa Rica would want. Not a lot of pace on that first service, so we'll see what happens the second time around.
Let's go, Naomi. Let's go, on your toes, ready, let's go. Win the first.
Scott again. And Wilson grabs. It was Gonzalez and everybody just kind of watching that one sail and soar through the air. And Gonzalez able to just power through with her body. Costa Rica scores again. And it's 3-0 Scott. Who else? Here's a look at that as we're in replay, but this is what I'm saying about Cayman Islands needing to be cautious, take care of the ball, especially in the 18, some really dangerous passes, and Scott's the first one to the ball, and she scores. So another brace, 2 straight braces for Scott, and this time she completes it already, not even a half an hour into this match. So that's now 7 unanswered goals in U20 qualifiers for Costa Rica. I mentioned the plus 104 goal difference. That's gone up to 111 in qualifiers. And traditionally been really strong defensively in these tournaments. Heading into this tournament for Costa Rica, the goals against average was less than 1.70 in 26 matches played, obviously not counting these couple of games. Scott. Oh, battle in the corner. Trying to get some separation. And a throw for Costa Rica. Also, just an update across the U20 qualifiers, as Scott, maybe not going to let me get that thought in. Puerto Rico up 1-0 on Honduras. Actually, McMahon with the goal for Puerto Rico. Well, there's 24 nations competing in these qualifiers. Only 6 will advance. And it started Thursday, it will end on Tuesday. These two teams will actually end, so Group F in general will end on Monday. Vasquez off her left foot, makes its way to Taylor, and just slipped past. Ruiz. Sanabria. Vasquez. Sprinting back. Sanabria takes a little bit of a deflection, but really it's down this right flank. That is what Costa Rica has gone for the majority of this game. Now switching to the left side. Vasquez. And off of Solano. Vasquez stretching out, and it rolls out of play from Solano. Solano. Taylor, nifty footwork, and knocked down there, no call. Got 10 minutes to go in the first half between Costa Rica and Cayman Islands. It's been all Costa Rica. We've seen 2 goals already for Scott and 1 from Taylor. And now we see another corner, the 3rd of the match for Costa Rica. Cayman Islands, no corners yet. No shots either. Off the set piece, headed towards the back post, and it's headed home. Costa Rica 4-0. Sanabria. Oh, it's a powerful header as she rises for it. Here's another look at that one. On its way to the back post, and really at the middle of the 6. She picks her moment perfectly. It looks like it kind of hit maybe her shoulder, her back, but whatever it takes, Costa Rica very happy with this first, not even 45 minutes. Everyone getting involved. Sanabria. Soars into the box. Scott, and looks like it hit a hand. Ruiz. Up ahead for Scott. Turns and takes a shot off the rebound. Wilson can't control. And that one skies over the crossbar for Solano. It seems like a sure thing on that one. Wilson missed, but Costa Rica doesn't convert. See this again, just don't want to give up a rebound right there. Taylor passes it behind, and Solano just overhits that. Gonzalez pulled down. Neo with the foul there for Cayman Islands. And it's a good spot for a free kick. Ocampo sets up, stands over the ball. Ocampo off her right foot, curls that one up towards the far post. And it's knocked out of play. That's a corner for Costa Rica. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cayman Islands, Costa Rica 4-0 already the score. Short option time for a service. Rebounded out for Solano. Solano still fighting. And finally booted all the way back to the midfield. Our Cespedes, the keeper, waits. There's our scoring summary. Just little spells here for Costa Rica where they've found the back of the net within 5 minutes and then 7 minutes. But this was the final for Costa Rica against Aruba, this score. And we're not even through the first half and already matched that. Scott. Vasquez. Ruiz. Scott plays it wide. Castrillo off the cross. And Solano can't get a shot off. Dispossessed there on the takeaway. Gonzalez, quick swing. Scott has to snake her way through that defense. Up the middle now. Scott has some time. And the defense collapses in quickly. But it hit off of Powell. And so a corner again for Costa Rica.
5 minutes more, let's go.
This is the fourth corner for Costa Rica. On the outswinger, Scott just didn't land right. And it's going the other way. Ridley. Right away, Costa Rica with the ball again. Scott. Off the turn, Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Quick touch to Scott. And it floats the other way with Cayman Islands. Into the circle. Looking to build something, Cayman Islands. DeQuintal. Skips that one. Two players run into each other for Cayman Islands. Not what you want to see there. It's Williams and Bateson all discombobulated. About a minute to go in this first half. Cayman Islands and Costa Rica. Sanabria, who scored the last goal for Costa Rica. Ocampo weaves through. Sanabria. Scott from Gonzalez. Lose the defender. Gonzalez looks to shoot. No, Taylor finishes the job. A brace for Taylor. It's 5-0 Costa Rica up on Cayman Islands. So now surpassing the goal total from game number 1, and this is just started by Scott. Gonzalez doesn't get a clean look, but because it's not cleared, might have hit a hand too. Because it's not cleared, Taylor's right there. Just a quick touch into the back of the net. So officially into stoppage time, 2 minutes in this first half from Trinidad. Solano. Jimenez. Sanabria. Underlapping run from Scott. Looking for Gonzalez. Heavy. Edge of the 18. Gonzalez again has some time. Ocampo with the shot. And it bounces to Clark, who sends it right back to Scott. This time a big shot that sails over to the crossbar for Scott. That's going to take us to the end of the first half. And what a first half it's been for Costa Rica. 5 unanswered goals. It's 5-0 Costa Rica up on Cayman Islands. Sheikha Scott with a brace, Taylor with a brace, and Sanabria has the 5th goal, and that's where we sit. We'll take a break. We'll come back with highlights from the first 45 minutes here in Concacaf W U20 qualifiers.
Esa sola preparo y la
Visit www.scotiabank.com/fc and learn more. #everyone on the field. Water, the official board of Concacaf. PIF is a proud partner of the Concacaf Women's Under-20 qualifiers, committed to elevating youth and unlocking opportunities to grow football at every level of game in North America, Central America, and in the Caribbean. Focusing on PIF's 4 sponsorship pillars: inclusivity, sustainability, youth, and technology. And we are here.
keeper, and Richards in. And Melanino out as well. And I mentioned the keeper change, so Stephanie Richards comes in. And also see Gabrielle Ebanks come in, and Wambugu for Cayman Islands. So 3 separate subs, including a goalkeeper change, which makes sense when you consider the scoreline 5-0. Costa Rica up. Just trying to get some new blood in there. For Costa Rica, Moya's going to come in. And Solano comes out. Solano had a pretty good shot that almost went in the first half. And then the final change, Castrillo, but a lot of joy down the right side. Out and in Rivera. Valentina Rivera in the game. As we see a foul on the far side and a free kick on the way for Costa Rica. All 3 players building that wall for Cayman Islands, trying to avoid allowing goal number 6. Ocampo curls it up, and the header's just high. This is executed pretty well, and that header just doesn't hit right off Ruiz. And she's been open now twice on set pieces. Moya. Jimenez. Scott tries to barrel through the defense, is unsuccessful, but still possesses. Dribbles to the corner. Now splits the D and gets some help. Sanabria. Those 2 have accounted for 3 of the 5 goals for Costa Rica today. Jimenez. And another free kick coming for Scott.
Substitutions for Cayman Islands at half-time entering the game. Number 12, Stephanie Richards, leaving the game. Number 1, Naomi Wilson.
Scott, straight to goal, punched away. Pile up in the box as a player goes down for Costa Rica, but no call, we play on. A player is still down the edge of the 6. Scott. And it's called dead because it's dangerous. So Ruiz was looking for a call on that one. We'll see as it's bounced, and it was Richards, the new keeper, and looked like Ruiz might have got stepped on. But it will be a drop ball on the restart here to Jimenez. Rivera. Scott keeps it in. Jolted out, and a throw in really at that corner for Scott, and she'll hand it off to Rivera. Scott plays it over the top of the defense. Jimenez moving to that left side. Lovely ball ahead. Nice touch as well. And the defense is there for Cayman Islands. That looks like goal number 6. Sanabria. Scott fighting for position. Somehow ends up with the ball. Scott, a very small player, but not afraid to get physical and show off her strength. Once she turns on the Jets, this Cayman Islands team has had some issues. Scott knocked away, edge of the 18. Blocked and cleared. Costa Rica with an opportunity to regroup. Still on the attack. A couple of runs in the box and it's headed away by Cayman Islands, so another corner coming. Now we're 7 minutes into this second half. And it's already better for Cayman Islands. 7 minutes in the first half had already allowed 2 goals. But obviously, no shots on net for Cayman Islands. And to make a monster comeback, which they're looking to do, that needs to change. Needs to just get possession and get out of their defensive end. First, defend this corner kick. Ocampo. That ricochets off a couple players. Gonzalez looking for a shot. And she'll pass it out. Ocampo races 2. And a throw. Still in the attacking third for Costa Rica, which we've spent the majority of this match here. Well, it's been a tough day for Michael Johnson Jr. and the Cayman Islands. Clark. Oh, a foul. Trying to earn possession for Gonzalez. Tugged an arm. Oh, Guatemala and Aruba coming up next from Trinidad. And we'll have a pretty clear picture of Group F after that game concludes. And then one final day. All 4 teams will play on Monday. That will decide the winner of this group and who moves on to the championship. 6 teams will advance from the 6 groups to meet the United States and Mexico. The ultimate goal of making the U20 World Cup on the women's side. That World Cup will take place in 2026. Shot from outside the box and handled by Richards. Well, 10 minutes in. Here comes Cayman Islands. Don't have numbers there. As spinning around is Jada Dixon. Off the bounce, Gonzalez looks around, accelerates, looking for a cross, and it's a corner instead. Scott on its way to the far post, and finally, Ruiz scores. She's had a couple opportunities on these corners. And through the air, Ruiz tallies. It's 6-0. Costa Rica up big on Cayman Islands. Yep, she's been in the right spot multiple times, and it did feel like it was a matter of time that she scored. But that, in that instance, Cayman Islands has to be better defensively. She's unmarked, and obviously you know that she is the target, having seen plenty of corners already in this match. Ridley. Scott. Taylor. Right back to her. Motoring forward for the Cayman Islands. Bateson met by Ocampo, and nothing comes of that. Jimenez plays it long, over the top of the defense. Moya. Another corner. Well, Richards gets ready. 7 corners for Costa Rica compared to 0 for Cayman Islands in this match. Ocampo. Perhaps not the service she was looking for, but again, Costa Rica ends up with the ball. Scott, showing off her speed. Uses her defense. Gonzalez switches directions. Scott just outside the 18. Shot with her right foot, and it just bends off. So another update around Concacaf U20 qualifiers. In Group D, Jamaica, an early lead on St. Kitts and Nevis, 1-0 in the first half. Richards, a very light pass and pouncing on it. Taylor Underlapping run, Moya. Back to Taylor. Oh, that pass behind the intended target. An overshot for Costa Rica, but boy, Richards got away with one there. Not sure if it was a miscommunication or just a very light pass, but it could have been goal number 7 for Costa Rica. Jimenez. Rivera. Scott stretching for it. Two subs coming in. We've already seen 2 for Costa Rica. Gonzalez out. Vargas in. Vargas scored in game number 1, by the way. Paniagua in as well. And Scott out. So wanting to preserve Scott for games moving forward, and obviously a wonderful performance with a brace in the first half. DeQuinto. At midfield, a throw in for Cayman Islands. We haven't seen much of that. Jimenez. Dixon on her back. Oh, nowhere to go for Cayman Islands. Ridley the last to touch. You can see some of the body language frustrations for Cayman Islands in this match. Down 6-0. Having allowed 5 goals in the first half. A foul, just a push in the back for Taylor. Well, I'm sure Guatemala, looking at this game and the score so far, realizing there's a lot of pressure on them. Because Guatemala would need to beat Aruba pretty handily to stay even at the top of the group with Costa Rica. And obviously, Aruba looking to spoil the fun in the next game coming up from Trinidad, as Ridley's going to be subbed out here for Cayman Islands. Kira Roberts in.
Attention please, ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Cayman Islands in the 66th minute. Entering the game is number 33, Theo Roberts. Leaving the game is number 3, Estella Whitney.
Off the build for Costa Rica. Cross. Broken up. It's Ebanks who got in front of it for Cayman Islands. Panaguia. And that header high. Now Costa Rica has continued the pressure this entire match, and Cayman Islands continues to not have an answer for it. So many turnovers. Rivera. Jimenez. Off the hop to Vasquez. Overlapping run, almost the combination with Moya. The right idea there from Taylor. Taylor. Rivera. Off the mark. Here's your scoring summary. Ruiz, the only to score in this second half. But Taylor and Scott with braces. Sanabria scored as well. So we've seen 2 defenders score off of set pieces, which I know that Aguilar will be happy. Coaches love that. Rivera. Vargas. Up the middle. Shifty with it. Lovely ball ahead. And it looks like offside is the call, as a flag goes up. Too good to be true. Moya was just a hair off, but I love that idea. Gave a scoring update that Jamaica early in the game was up 1-0 on St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, they're up 3-0 now. So 2 goals in succession. Jamaica rolling so far. That's Group D action. Well, with 24 nations competing, it's very active every day here. Concacaf U20. These are the qualifiers to get to the championship and join the United States and Mexico. Will be 8 teams competing for a chance to represent Concacaf in the U20 World Cup in 2026. Nice turn. Moya cutting through the defense. And a wayward shot there for Costa Rica. But everything seems like it's just gravy. I'm sure defensively, the ultimate goal here is just to earn a shutout and continue this big goal difference that they have. Because now, not even through 2 games, when you include the Aruba score, have outscored opponents 10-0. And they would like to keep it that way. As we reach the cooling break in the second half, 6-0 Costa Rica up on Cayman Islands. Oh, good to see Cayman Islands in good spirits. This has not been the game that they imagined heading into this match. Costa Rica scored in the 2nd minute and have not looked back. And Costa Rica walks into this game as the favorites, walks into this group as the favorites, having made the World Cup and represented Concacaf 4 separate times. These are the Group F standings. So Guatemala and Aruba will play next. And as I said, we'll have a clear picture of this group after. But Guatemala certainly has some work to do. Aruba looking to play spoiler and really mix this group up. But as it stands, Costa Rica well in front of everybody else with this goal difference as well. And one more game on Monday. Costa Rica will play Guatemala, and potentially, just depending on how that Aruba game plays out, could be to decide the group. Cayman Islands will play Aruba on Monday. Oh, we return from the cooling break and not much has changed. Costa Rica possesses in the attacking third. Vargas. There's a shot and it bounces wide. Looking like it was going to tuck in the corner there. Another change for Costa Rica. Rocio comes in. Raquel Rocio. Jimenez, the captain, off the pitch. And another scoring update from across Concacaf at the U20 level. Puerto Rico added to its lead against Honduras, up 2-0 now. Sanabria.
Substitution for Costa Rica in the 73rd minute. Entering the game, number 21, Raquel Rocio. Leaving the game, number 15,
Captain.
Jimenez. Substitution, Costa Rica.
Paniagua. Tries a cross. Who's gonna get there? Paniagua does. Moya. Ripped away. Cayman Islands looking to build, and that pass is behind Jada Dixon. Well, nothing has gone Cayman Islands' way in this match. Taylor. Rivera. Sanabria. Rivera shuffles back up the flank and gives it to Cayman Islands. Dribbling out of trouble. Into the 18. Gotta be cautious. 3 players surround. DeQuinto being pushed back. Lifted in Costa Rica again with possession. Vargas. And a mistimed tackle there. Foul against Coles. I got all legs on that one. Paniagua fouled. And a straightaway free kick.
Follow up on the ball. When the ball goes shoot, follow up. Take it, second ball. Follow the ball.
Paniagua stands over the ball. Scott had taken a lot of these free kicks and corners, but she's off the pitch having scored a brace. Paniagua with her left foot goes straight to goal. And off the hop, it's grabbed by Richards. Richards, the goalkeeper who was subbed in at halftime, it was Naomi Wilson to start the game for Cayman Islands. Zenabria. Ruiz, the only to score in this second half, although I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for Costa Rica. A battle there. And a question of who that went out on. And it looks like it's going to be a foul against Costa Rica and Vargas. Clark. A nice catch there by Aguilar, the head coach for Costa Rica. Taylor. Stumbles. Dixon. Play on. As Dixon slow to get up in the middle of the pitch and is still down right now. Not sure if she got clipped on that one. Sanabria. Rivera.
Ladies and gentlemen, the attendance for today's match is 45.
Big collision there. Cayman Islands benefits. Costa Rica right away gets the ball back in another possession. Rivera. Rocio wide to Rivera. Taking on two defenders. 10 minutes to go. Costa Rica up 6-0 on Cayman Islands. Now the scoring has cooled for Costa Rica. The dominance has not. Paniagua lifts, trying to take advantage. Here comes a corner kick. Sneaking in behind there for Costa Rica. Paniagua. Another header, and it misses. Ruiz was the option. Cayman Islands, the final sub, Olivia Thorpe in. Dixon out. Sanabria. Rivera.
All you can go. All right, let's go, let's go.
Rocio. Rivera. Well, we're nearing the end of this match. It's still no shots for Cayman Islands. No shots on target, nothing. No corners. Paniagua curls around, shot with her left foot, blocked by the defense. It was Powell who got in front of that. The pushing and shoving, and then a pretty clear push after the fact there for Williams. Oh, it was 50-50 until that moment. As we see, Vargas gets the position. She's boxing Williams out. And the shove. And it results in another free kick. This is a good spot for one for Costa Rica. Could send this towards the far post. You can see Ruiz is there through the air. She might be the target. Paniagua over the ball. I just heard Johnson Jr. say, be aware of the back post. That's where it's going. Some texture to it. Header! And it's just off. Very, very close for Costa Rica. Arcio rising for that, nearly places it perfectly. Sanabria. Driven up by Sanabria, takes a deflection. Header, no. Taylor was looking for the hat trick on that one. She was the first to score in the second minute. It was off a rebound. And just tucked it in the corner, and then she scored again in the first half. As you see here, Taylor in stoppage time in the first. Scott with a brace, Sanabria scored, Ruiz as well. And there's an obvious trip. And the first card of the game given out to Williams, who just kind of been warned after a push led to a free kick a couple moments ago. Actually, just kidding. Disregard all of that. That's a yellow against Thorpe. Puerto Rico, by the way, up 3-0 on Honduras. As Costa Rica, yet again, straight away, another free kick. They've had so many set pieces in this match. Rivera, back pose. This mistimed a little bit. Moya almost had it. Sanabria. Rivera. Taylor sprints. Can she get there? And it's a throw for Costa Rica with about 3 minutes to go. Rivera open in the 18. And it's another goal. Paniagua was there, and she finishes. Another look at this goal, and it starts from Rivera. And Paniagua was open, and great vision from Rivera to get it to her, and Paniagua does the rest. Oh, there's the battle, Moya and Bateson. Free kick for Cayman Islands. Can they get on the board before the end of this game or get a shot off too? Bateson. Nudged away. Costa Rica possesses. Ocampo. Rivera. Paniagua. Nobody home, scooped up by Richards. Paniagua going for two, skips wide. Three minutes of stoppage time here in the second half. 7-0. Costa Rica up on Cayman Islands, 2 goals in this second half, 5 in the first. Sanabria. Rivera. The underlapping run, and it's tackled away. Clutching her ankles on that one, Vargas, but it looked clean from Powell. It's a corner with 2 minutes to go. Short option, Rivera. And Costa Rica will do it again. Headed towards the back post, off the crossbar. But we have a call before that against Costa Rica, foul on the set piece. Rocio. Sanabria. Rivera. Sanabria. Vargas. Taylor. Clark gives it right back. There's a shot, and it's off the post. That almost went in for Rivera. Would have been quite the goal on the far post. Rivera, not done yet. Play on. Sanabria. Oh, Costa Rica playing as hard as ever. In stoppage time, up 7-0. Vargas really stretching for it, and she fouls. There's a final whistle, a commanding performance for Costa Rica over Cayman Islands. A 7-0 victory. 5 goals in the first half, 2 in the second. And Costa Rica races to a win in Concacaf U20 qualifiers.
You can first go on to watch the highlights of this game in our official YouTube channel at Concacaf.
That's 2 straight wins for Costa Rica, no wins yet for Cayman Islands. And once again, Costa Rica shut down an opponent in a big way.
Thank you for coming to this Concacaf Women's Under-20 Qualifiers at the Ato Boldon Stadium.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Concacaf U20 qualifiers. Costa Rica and Cayman Islands. This early game in Group F action. And it was an early goal for Taylor. That one off the post. Trouble clearing for Cayman Islands, and Taylor just finds the back of the net, able to tuck it in the corner. Wilson had trouble, the keeper, corralling it in. And Taylor takes full advantage. That was 2 minutes into this game, by the way. In the 7th minute, Sheikah Scott, what a finish. That would be goal number 3 for Scott in just 2 games. She had a brace in game 1, but a great touch, powers through on the shot, and it would make it 2-0, not even 10 minutes into the match for Costa Rica. A couple of opportunities for Ruiz, who was a target on all the set pieces. A little foreshadowing for you there. Solano makes a move off her right foot, nearly bends that one in the low corner. Wilson diving for it. But as you can see, Costa Rica dominating possession, shots. At this time, they're up 2-0. Everything going Costa Rica's way. And Scott not done yet. Just off the takeaway, not the best pass, and Scott pounces and scores. So now 4 goals for Scott in this tournament over the course of 2 games and back-to-back braces. Off the corner, Sanabria is there, and she blazes up and finds the back of the net. This all in the first half, by the way. As these corner kicks and set pieces worked out pretty nicely for Costa Rica in this game. Gonzalez there at the end of the first half. She can't score, but Taylor's there again to play cleanup duty, and that would make it 5-0 after 45 minutes of play. So then we would start the second half, and it's more of the same for Costa Rica. Ruiz diving for that one, spins around and down. And she's inches away from getting on the board. And finally, she does. Ruiz heads that one in. And that would make it 6-0. This from Scott on the corner kick, just hangs up there, and surprisingly, Ruiz is unmarked really in the box. Couple other looks for Costa Rica as this game progresses, already with a hefty lead. That header just wide as well from Rocio. And then this from Rivera, really good pass. Realizes that her teammate is open. Paniagua, bit of a heavy touch, but is still able to get a quality shot off, even with her body shuffling in the opposite direction. And that would make it 7-0. So Costa Rica with quite a performance today. So as we look at the standings in Group F, Costa Rica with now 6 points at the top of the standings. Guatemala and Aruba gonna play next, and Cayman Islands at the bottom. But it's a +11 goal difference for Costa Rica. That could go a long way. And again, all of these teams will conclude on Monday, and we'll know the winner of Group F. Well, that's going to do it from myself, Maura Sheridan, here in Trinidad. Again, final score 7-0. Costa Rica takes down Cayman Islands in Concacaf Women's Under-20 qualifiers.